Hey everybody, this is Phil Caldwell again. On Twitter, you can find me at DumpsterDiveFF. I am going to use a couple of our advanced metric tools at fffaceoff.com to talk about Patrick Mahomes today. I'm going to use our player analysis QB comparison tool as well as the consistency collection just to go ahead and go through why I think Patrick Mahomes is really no longer a starting fantasy asset. At most, he is a streaming quarterback. Links to these tools are going to be in the description of the video below. You can use these for free at fffaceoff.com. So please check it out. All right, so Patrick Mahomes. First off, you can just kind of forget about the right side. This is a QB comparison tool, usually meant for comparing one QB against the other clearly. But in this case, really, I am just using the Patrick Mahomes side just to kind of give an analysis of him. In 3 games, he's had 92 attempts, 64 completions, only 659 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, 4 interceptions, not great. What's really alarming to me this year so far, his rush attempts, only 12 for 49 yards. If we look at this radar graph, we can see that he is just not generating any fantasy points right now with his legs. He is doing it all through the air. Pocket passers are going to have a harder time with fantasy production. Also, though, right here, this is really alarming. His maximum fantasy points for the season so far, 16.4. Minimum's only 12.9. That minimum's great. However, that median of 14.6 is just mediocre at best. You can really see that he just does not have a ceiling right now that we are used to from Patrick Mahomes. Matter of fact, he hasn't scored 20 fantasy points or more since week 12 of 2023. So we are really just a floor play with Patrick Mahomes right now. There is no ceiling. If I go to our consistency collection, I've got to scroll all the way down to number 16 before I find Patrick Mahomes right here at a 4.65 consistency score. You can see he hasn't had a single game in the top 12 yet this season. Only 3 games in, I understand. 100% of his games have been top 24, so he hasn't, just completely killed you. But he is clearly not winning you a week. If we look at this graph, I love these graphs because this tells you what the elite average, which is like a top 5 play, your QB1 average, which is top 12, and the QB2, so 13 through 24. Patrick Mahomes is that blue line right there floating through the middle here. So 14.6, he's just under that QB1. 12.9, right above the QB2 average, and then right in the middle again, 16.4 when your QB1 is a 19.3 on the week. So we can just tell he is not doing it this season. He didn't do it the second half of last year either. This is a different Chiefs offense. If we look down here for his weekly scores, we've got Justin Fields has a higher consistency score. That's scary. 14.6, 12.9, 16.4. Again, just a different place to look at it. So I really want you to consider if you've got Patrick Mahomes and you can trade him for just a haul of assets based on that name. Why not? Because right now Patrick Mahomes is nothing but a streaming quarterback. Now you might say, don't worry, this year's starting off slow. It's a different, defenses are playing differently than they did in 2023. That's true, but it's not true. Last year, the first 3 weeks of the season, top 12 quarterbacks averaged 22.78 fantasy points a game. Right now, the first 3 weeks of 2024, top 12 quarterbacks are averaging slightly less fantasy points, yes, but it's 22.06. So 22.78 or 22.06. Again, Patrick Mahomes hasn't even gotten 20 fantasy points since week 12 last year. Now, the other thing is, maybe there's just more parity. No, last year there was 22 unique quarterbacks that had a top 12 season. 22 different quarterbacks had at least one top 12 week within the first 3 weeks of the season. This year, 24 quarterbacks have had a top 12 week within the first 3 weeks of the season. So really, from 2023 to 2024, we are seeing a lot of parity. It is not that different. It is not that, that dramatic of less scoring from the QB position. It is just a Patrick Mahomes thing. So I really, really do think that right now, if you can trade him for a haul of assets, why not? Let's go for it. Let's go ahead, get as much as you can from the name of Patrick Mahomes and see if, that helps you turn your fantasy season around. If you started off 1-2 or 0-3 and you've got Patrick Mahomes under center, get a good wide receiver, get a good running back, and then just stream the position, because right now you can find a top 12 quarterback on the waiver wire if you, use our D-Pack stool. Yeah, that's a slip of the tongue. If you use our D-Pack tool and, really target those matchups that are beneficial to the quarterback, I know that you're going to be able to go ahead and stream the position and make something happen without Patrick Mahomes under center. Again, my name's Phil Caldwell. If you like these videos, please hit me up on Twitter, DumpsterDiveFF, and, come check out fffaceoff.com and check out these tools. Thank you again.